Do you want to learn how to draw hyperrealistic textures, fabrics, skin, hair with graphite pencils? I perhaps suppose that you do since you clicked on this video. Sometimes we search for the perfect way to draw, but we can be maybe impatient or can't find the right video for us to instruct. Maybe even not exactly what we search for. Today I'm gonna draw a particular character, present a drawing of someone I've drawn already, but haven't drawn the fabric, the armor of him yet. And I'm gonna show you how it is done. But before, I'm gonna start with a small introduction. A small thing I have to say. Hello guys, my name is Jack Drew. And I absolutely hope you had the great summer and a great experiences. If you'd like, you can tell in the comments what you have done. I myself was experiencing and practicing my skills including drawing, such as drawing this picture of Charlemagne. Here you can see a small haul of the drawings from the start to the so far end. So now, I'm gonna start drawing his cloth and his armor, reserved especially for you. So first, before I'm gonna start working exactly on his clothes, I'm gonna more focus on his hair a little bit. Add a little bit of graphite stamps on the hair, and erase some pieces to make it look like the glistening part of the hair in the back. And then apply some shading onto the beard to completely finish it. And now I'm gonna draw his cloth while I'm sort of explaining some of his backstory. Charlemagne was the son of King Pepin and the grandson to Charles Martel, where originates the original name of the Carolingian Empire from Pepin. Charles Martel himself was actually not a king in the Merovingian dynasty, starting about from Clovis I since the fall of the Roman Empire. Mayor of the palace was like prime minister. People fought for this role. It was almost better than being a king, because if you're the mayor of the palace, you have actually control over his household and over himself, which is a lot. Charlemagne was brother to Charlemagne, and his true reign to show himself started when his father Pepin died in 1768. Charlemagne himself was said to be born in the 740s, either in Aachen in modern-day Germany or modern-day Belgium. After their father's death, Charlemagne had started and declared a civil war against his brother, fighting over the Carolingian throne. But then their mother got involved, and she actually favored Charlemagne more than Charlemagne. So she applied him to the diplomatic missions and the assemblies, making Charlemagne a foot below him. Eventually, Charlemagne also married the Lombard princess, the daughter of the Lombard king, making him even way foot ahead than his brother, until Charlemagne died of a severe nosebleeding that killed him. Then afterwards, the Pope was attacked by Lombards, Germanic people from northern Italy that extended from Austria to Turkey. Charlemagne had his marriage with the Lombard princess over anyway, and also so the alliance, so he definitely didn't let the Pope suffer the attack, when he couldn't solve things diplomatically with his sword. He solved them with his sword, a sword he'd like to call joyeux, translating to joyous in French. And in 1773, the Franks arrived in Italy to battle the Lombards. Battles extending from the northern Alps to Pavia. The Franks won, eventually going on to multiple battles with the Avarians, clearing forests, smoldering or blacksmithery. He then turned his eyes to the Saxons, a territory where he truly wanted to expand and unite his Germanic people together in his Frankish Empire, But this was relatively problematic because the Saxons were pagans. Charlemagne initiated a long campaign on fighting them, but this wasn't easy. They weren't Lombards nor Bavarians. It took long and long battles. He made it clear to them, however, destroying their religious items, and in return, the Saxons have tried to burn their churches. But Charlemagne made it clear: convert to Catholic Christianity or be destroyed. And he was definitely right on that. In 782, in the Battle of Sunto, that's when they had their last battle, bloody and hard, and they proved to Charlemagne that they're not gonna convert to Christianity. Starting the massacre of Verdun. That was one of the most ruthless massacres, to the point that in Germany it was called Karl the Slaughterer. And the very racist German dictator, which I'm not gonna say his name, admired him, along Napoleon, who was an inspiration to both of these European conquerors. But despite of this massacre, Charlemagne himself was actually a generous person, and his scholar who taught him, the biographer, Einhard, his contemporary, described him as a very generous person, loving his family and his 4 wives, and he never forced his daughters to get married as soon as possible. And apart from that, described him as to look glorious whenever he was sitting or standing. However, a short and fat neck. A very intelligent, stamina, godly king. An enduring one. An intelligent that studied both Latin and ancient Greek, but had quite of a struggling because he started late with the writing. Charlemagne was later invited to Rome, because in 799, Rome was under a rebellion. They wanted the terrified Pope Leo III. They wanted to mutilate him, to rip off his tongues and eyes. But eventually Charlemagne arrived there, reclaiming the territory he gained from the Lombards in northern Italy, what once part of the Roman Empire that belonged to Charlemagne now, the huge Carolingian Empire. He took the Pope to the Northern Alps as a sanctuary to be protected until rebellion is put down. And the Pope knew how to say thanks to him. He invited him in Christmas in December 25th, in the year 800, to have a feast, a Christmas feast. Charlemagne agreed and had a feast, and also went to pray in the same basilica, in the church. And the Pope seen it, and he actually crowned him, without his actual consent, to be the new king of the new empire. He was crowned, and that was how the Holy Roman Empire came to be. An empire that lived for thousands of years, until Napoleon conquered it and destroyed it, dissolving it. Charlemagne eventually then died in 1814, and he was remembered as one of the greatest kings of all of Europe, starting the Carolingian Renaissance, reforming education, economics, scholarship, and so on. What do you think of this character? What do you think about the great gift he brought to Europe that shaped it until today? 15th of September is my birthday, and I'm celebrating it today, or maybe years afterwards if it's uploaded after my birthday after all. I hope you all had a great summer, and that this day I became 16 years old. And I hope you enjoyed this video and actually managed to learn something interesting and helpful. Stay tuned, because my next video might be up next month in Halloween. And in this next video, I will have a very important announcement to make in all of you. A very important and revealing announcement to make. So stay tuned until this video drops next month. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video.